Broadcasting live from downtown Canton, Ohio since 1925. WHBC AM Canton, a Digity property.
1, 2,
3,
4. Now, we will begin.
Now back to Pam and Gary on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
News Talk 1480 WHBC. So, do you use Facebook just to keep in touch with family and friends, or do you use it as surveillance to check up on your friends?
Well, there are people who use Facebook. They sit anonymously on Facebook, and they sit there anonymously on Facebook and stalk others. That's true. People do that.
Well, Lori Vann, a licensed professional counselor, has some words of advice for those of you who are using it as surveillance. Good morning, Lori.
Good morning.
So, am I right? Are those people who survey, if you will, their past relationships, etc., it's been determined they get depressed?
Well, that's correct. But if you think about it, if your self-worth, if your self-esteem is wrapped up in how you compare to others, then yeah, I think you're setting yourself up for failure.
Some people just do that just by accident. You stumble on a Facebook page, and that's not what you're talking about, is it? You're talking about someone who actively just looks at others and sees themselves as something less than them.
Well, correct. That there are people out there, unfortunately, that look at the different social media posts and they do start to compare themselves. They do, either they have a wrong motivation and they're looking at well, let me see if my ex-boyfriend from so many years ago, if he's still in a relationship or not, and I really hope that he's not. But then they find out that, oh, he's married and he's living the great life, and wow, now I'm questioning all these different things about myself. And there are some people out there, unfortunately, that are looking, hoping to find some negative stuff, and then when they don't, then it creates depression, anxiety, feelings of insecurity, low self-worth, all sorts of problems.
Now, this came about from a study of, journalism students, I guess, about 700 of them they studied. But what can they do to get out of that twisted thought process?
Yeah, you've got to be able to fight it in some way, because you're really subjecting yourself to it, right?
Absolutely. And I think really you have to step back, and the first thing you have to do is, before you even log on or even create an account, is to really ask yourself, what is my intent behind having this account? What is my purpose? And it's one thing to have your purpose the way it's supposed to be on social media, is to communicate with friends and family, find out what's going on with them, and that if something great happens to them, you rejoice in it. It's like, yay, I am so happy for you. But if your motivation is something else, where it's, I want to see how others are doing, and my self-worth is going to be wrapped up in this of how many likes I get in comparison to someone else, you know what, that's not good motivation. And so I think it comes down to self-awareness.
Boy, sometimes you just reminded me of the folks that are always upset when somebody loses weight. They're like, yeah, I'm happy for you.
Get off my Facebook page.
Right? They're not really happy for you. Is that human nature? Are we just naturally, we don't want other people to be successful or happy?
Well, I think there's a certain element, but I would encourage people, well, if you have that tendency, then why not turn it around and let it be a motivating factor for you to say, you know what, I know who they are, and if they can succeed, if they can have this great vacation and life, etc., then I can do that too. And let it be that motivational call for you, to empowering call to say, okay, I have dreams, I have goals, what am I doing? And if it's, oh, I'm wasting a couple hours a day looking at everyone else's life versus living my own, well, then I think you got to answer there.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Well, I'm going to Facebook now, so we'll talk to you later. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.